Hello, my name is Juan Velasquez, Solutions Engineer here at Globalli, and in this video, we're going to walk through how to configure your organization inside Globalli. This setup ensures your structure, permissions, compliance checks, and billing entities are properly established before you onboard employees or contractors. We'll break the configuration into 5 parts. First, we're going to connect to any existing accounting or HR integrations. Then we're going to set up the organization structure, including departments, general ledger, roles, and seniority levels. Then we're going to configure background checks. We'll then move on to creating admin users with specific access levels. And finally, we're going to review the billing entities and payment settings. So here we are in the main dashboard, and we'll go to the configure organization workflow. We're going to start by connecting Globalli with your existing accounting or HR systems. From here, we navigate to integrations, where we can choose to connect to external systems by selecting yes. On this screen, you can see the integrations that have already been set up within Globalli, but if your accounting or HR system isn't listed here, that's not a blocker. The Globalli technology team can build a custom integration based on the API capabilities of your system. In this example, you can see that we already have one accounting integration connected. We'll use this integration later to pull data and complete the organization structure within Globalli. Now let's move to organization structure. Now we go to the organization structure, and the first step is defining your departments. You can either use Globalli CSV template, add them manually, or use a connected integration to pull the department data. For this walkthrough, I've already pre-filled some departments manually. So let's open the list. And here we can see the department's name, department code, and I have assigned the executive or operations team under the leadership team and the people and culture team under support and culture team. Now we continue, and we can upload the general ledger. If your finance team already maintains a general ledger, you can either download the Globalli template or pull data directly from an existing integration. For this walkthrough, we're going to use the integration, so we're going to click here in autofill with integration, and you can see that the data has already been successfully pulled from the accounting system. From here, if I open the integration settings, we can see we can retry to pull the data or open the integration. Now we continue, and we can see all the data that was pulled from your accounting system, including the accounting number, the account numbers, and the descriptions. The final step in this stage will be to map the pay codes, as we have already done here. And if I scroll to the right, we have also to map the departments, removing significant manual work when transitioning into Globalli. Now we continue, and now we're going to define the roles. Just like in departments, you can upload a CSV file or manually enter the roles. Here I have used the Globalli template, so we're going to use the template. You can download it here. As you can see, I have already uploaded the document. And if we continue, we can see that the roles have been populated successfully across the different departments with the title and their description. Now we continue. We get finally to the seniority levels. This can follow the standard structure displayed here or be customized to match how your organization classifies levels. So we're going to leave it how it is, and once everything is good, we're going to submit this for review. The Globalli team will validate the configuration and approve it or notify you if any corrections are required. Now we can move to background checks. Next, we configure background checks. So we enter here, and first we toggle where we want to enable background checks for new hires. For this demo, we're going to select yes, and we continue. And here we have the different options that can be selected. So we have the essential package, and if we click here, we can see what is available for that check. There will be a reference check, there is an automatic referee feedback about performance and suitability, and then an entity check that verifies the ID via digital identity. Then if we close here and we see a professional package, we can see that it includes the essential checks plus an employment verification, criminal record check, and a social media screening. Then we close here, we can also explore the executive package that contains everything that is in the professional checks, plus the global sanctions check and the drug screening. We can also toggle whether the background checks must be completed before the employee start date. And clients can enable any packages here and then allocate each background check to specific countries and roles where they should apply as part of the implementation setup. Now we can move to admin users. Now we are in the admin user section. As you can see, we currently have Margaret and Phil listed as company owners. Now we're going to create a new user access profile from scratch. We're going to click here in create user access, and we start by giving a profile name. In this case, we're going to provide America's payroll team. Next, we're going to select the countries that this access applies to. We can choose individual countries or select an entire region. For this demo, we're going to assign access to the South and North America regions. We close. We're going to now leave the access department to all departments, and then we're going to add a short description for clarity. So let me just copy paste the description. Okay. And finally, we're going to scroll down and configure the permissions. Permissions can be granted across people, payroll, time and attendance, performance, organization settings, and integrations. Since this access is payroll focused, we're going to enable all payroll and payments permissions and also allow access to entity management, bank setup, and payments related documentations on the organizational settings. Now we're going to save this user access profile. And now that the profile is created, we can add a new admin. We're going to enter first the name. In this case, it's going to be Natalie Price. We're going to copy here the email. We're going to add the phone number. Okay. We're going to choose the country where they're going to be working from. In this case, we're going to select the USA. And then we're going to assign the access level we just created. Now, once saved, you can see that the new admin is going to receive an email invitation to register into the platform and can start using the platform with the assigned permissions. Now we can move to billing entities. Lastly, we configure billing entities. Here we can see the main entity that was set up when the organization was created in Globalli. We can review the entity details, including whether it's public or private, the country it applies to, the currency, billing address, and the payment method. We can add additional entities if your organization operates with multiple billing structures. For example, there is another billing entity over here, and if I click here, we have Shield Africa, where we have we capture the similar information that we did for the main entity, but we can see that this entity only applies for the African countries within the organization. For this example, we're just going to leave these two entities and we save, and that completes the organizational configuration setup. Using these 5 steps, Globalli lays the foundation for compliant hiring, accurate payroll, and smooth operations across every country you operate in.